So it's what are populations, habitats, and niches. Page 173. This is the beginning, 173. Uh, but today you're gonna follow the same lesson. So please, I'm gonna open this page 185. Open it with me. 185. Open it in your science book. So here I use the examples to help unscramble the words. Number one, Muhammad Tarbush. Did you open the book? Open it, please. 185. 185. Denny, what is the first one? Read it.
Oh wait, use the examples to help unscramble the words.
What is number one?
Number one, a bacteria found in yogurt.
Yes. What is a bacteria found in yogurt?
I think my mom knows.
We
I think
need we
that's
need
what I
to
know.
we need to order the letters. As you see here, we have SCRODEPOME. If you try to order them, the word will be decomposer. Okay, decomposer. So please write it. Decomposer. Write it in your book. A bacteria found in yogurt. Decomposer. Number two, Muhammad Mazen.
Yes.
Read number two, please.
B-A-I-T-A-T-H.
No. Read the sentence down it. Where?
Habitat.
Yeah, read this one.
Where an
Where an
organisms
finds.
finds food and shelter.
Yeah, when an organism finds food
Food
and
and
shelter, its
shelter.
habitat. Okay, its habitat. So we have to
Mm-hmm.
order the letters as you see here to be habitat. So where, if I
Your
ask
sound is
you,
glitched.
yeah, if I ask you here, where an organism finds food and shelter, its habitat. Okay.
Okay.
Jamal, number three.
Okay.
Grass.
Producer.
Grass, it
Grass
would
is
be
producer.
producer. So what I mean by producer, Jamal, can you tell me?
Like plants.
What I mean by producer, they can make their own food or what?
Own food.
Yeah.
Producer, not.
But if you found like an animal try to eat another animal, is it producer?
No, it's consumer.
Yeah, very good. So in number three, you have to write producer, 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 as you see here in my picture. Nice. Ahmed Walid, number four.
Number four,
Yes.
a group of elephants living on the savannah.
Yeah, living on savannah. It's population, right?
Yeah, because there's a lot of elephants. There's
Yeah.
a lot of
So this,
there's a lot of
yeah.
different
So this group, it's called population
things.
of elephants. A group of elephants living in the savannah. Savannah. Do you know where is savannah?
Uh, I think it's like an island.
It's like a wide area of grass. You find it near to Africa and tropical islands. Okay.
Weird.
Thank you, Ahmed. Rosin, number five.
An adult frog in a pond eating dragonflies.
What is it?
Niche.
niche. Right. So an adult frog in a pond eating dragonflies, it's niche. Muhammad Sultan. Number 6.
Number 6.
Yeah.
A rainforest.
A rainforest.
Rain.
Yeah. It's ecosystem. Ecosystem, okay? Ecosystem, write it please. Ahmad Omar. 7.
A lion.
A lion. It's producer or consumer?
Consumer.
Why?
Because a lion can eat like a deer.
Yeah, another animal to live, to survive.
Yes. To
Ahmed
survive.
Samir. Number 8. Read that please. Number 8. Ahmed Samir, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, read number 8.
Right. Community. Mine.
Read that.
Mind.
Read the sentence down.
Frogs, birds, and plants at a pond.
At a pond, it's community. Okay. Now, this page 186. Label each picture as a consumer, producer, or decomposer. As you see here, we have different kinds of creatures like cow, mushroom, plant, as another plant, human body, and some kinds of some worms. They can decompose the plants. So right, as you see here, producer, decomposer, consumer. Yusuf Oda, welcome. Suleiman, welcome. Abdullah. Okay, hurry up to write it. Producer, decomposer, consumer. Even human body, they are consumer. So only the plants, they are producer. They can make their own food by themselves by using the sunlight, the energy from the sun, and minerals and water from the soil. And after that, we can eat it. So we are consumer and the plants producer. Okay. Now let me play this video for you. To remember, yesterday we talked about this one. Sort the living and non-living things. Let's remember it together.
Which of these are living things? Which are non-living? Drag each image into the correct box.
Okay.
Picture.
Fisher, a butterfly. What do you think about a butterfly? Living or non-living?
Living.
Living. Perfect. Mu'taz? Sunlight.
Not living.
Non-living. Okay. Danny? Tiger.
A tiger are living, of course.
Of course. Abdullah? Soil.
Yes.
Soil.
There's none.
Non-living. Thank you. Talal? Talal?
Yes.
Plant? Plant?
Plants
Yeah.
living.
Of course, it's living. Suleiman?
Yes.
Water.
Non-living.
Sure? Are you sure, Suleiman? Suleiman?
I don't
لا
I think
coding.
so.
You think so? You are right. Don't worry.
Can I answer?
Okay. Manef? Rock.
Forest.
Manef, rock.
Living thing.
Rock from living things?
Huh?
Rock. I'm talking about rock.
Ah. Non-living thing.
Non-living. The last one, reptile. Let me ask here. Let me choose Abdul Mohsin. Reptiles.
Would obviously gonna be living.
Living.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
That's right. Plants,
Exactly.
insects, reptiles, and mammals are all living things in an ecosystem. Water, rocks, soil, and sunlight are non-living things in an ecosystem.
Okay.
If you look around a place, you may find many living things. Often you'll find several organisms of one type, such as bees in a beehive. What you find is a population of that organism. Take all the populations that live and interact in one place and you have a community. Click each image to learn more about the populations in an underwater community. Most plant life in the sea depends on sunlight, much as plants on land do. In shallow waters, seaweeds such as kelp and plants such as seagrasses get enough sunlight to grow quickly. Large populations of these plants provide food and shelter for animals. Many simple animals without bones, such as sponges, live in seas and oceans. Populations of sponges grow and live on rocks and coral reefs. Populations of animals with shells, such as these spiny lobsters, are found throughout shallow seawater and coral reefs. You're probably familiar with populations of fish. Many fish, such as these bluefish, live in population groups called schools.
So, Taha? Taha, are you there? Okay.
Yeah.
Taha, so what is the name of this population of the bluefish?
Uh,
Schools. Okay.
schools.
They are schools. There's the name of this population called schools.
Yeah.
A plant or an animal has to live someplace. The place that meets the needs of the plant or animal is called its habitat. Plants and animals use their habitats for food and shelter. The role a plant or animal plays in its habitat is called its niche. An organism's niche includes how it uses its habitat and interacts with other living things. Click the images to learn more. This oak tree is a habitat for a big community. What niches do the animals and plants living here occupy? One example is a squirrel. The squirrel's niche is to live in the tree and eat some of the tree's acorns. The squirrel also spreads acorns in the area so new oaks can grow.
Yusuf Oda, did you listen to that?
Yes.
So, what is the niche of this animal?
It can grow animal.
Again, listen again.
This oak tree is a habitat for a big community. What niches do the animals and plants living here occupy? One example is a squirrel. The squirrel's niche is to live in the tree and eat some of the tree's acorns. The squirrel also spreads acorns in the area so new oaks can grow.
Yes. Yusuf, you can answer now.
It live It lives in the tree and
And
eats
eat what?
acorn.
Okay, right.
This pond looks calm, but it's really a busy habitat with a large community. Ponds are rich in nutrients which help plants grow. The plants provide food for insects. Fish, frogs, and salamanders all feed on the insects. There are just a few of the living things and their niches in the pond.
So what, Razan, what is the niche of this ducks? Of those ducks?
What?
What is the niche of those ducks? Listen again.
This pond looks calm, but it's really a busy habitat with a large community. Ponds are rich in nutrients which help plants grow. The plants provide food for insects. Fish, frogs, and salamanders all feed on the insects. There are just a few of the living things and their niches in the pond.
Razan, did you understand?
Yes.
Okay. So like as you see here, these are just a few of the living things and their niches in the pond. Niche is like behavior, okay? Or its work.
The sea otter may not look like a hero, but without sea otters, an entire ecosystem would fall apart. This sea otter lives off the California coast, where its habitat depends on a large population of seaweed called kelp. The sea otter eats the animals that eat the kelp, and so it protects its habitat. Usually a plant or an animal does more than one thing in its niche. For example, take the Gila monster of the Sonoran Desert. One of its roles is keeping down the population of small animals such as mice and rats. The Gila monster also eats the eggs of other lizards, snakes, and birds. In turn, young Gila monsters may be eaten by snakes or hawks. You've learned about populations, communities, habitats, and niches. Which definition matches each word? Read the definitions, then drag each definition to the word it defines.
So now I need to match the words to their definitions. The first one, all organisms living and interact in a place. Number two, all the organisms of one kind in an ecosystem. Number three, the environment that meets an organism's needs. Number four, the role an organism plays in its habitat. Number one, let me choose Walif. Walif, how are you?
Good.
What is in your mouth?
A shark.
Okay, so now I'm talking about the first one. All organisms living and interacting in a place. Is it community, niche, population, or habitat? What do you think? All organisms living and interacting in a place. Living and interacting in a place. Is it niche,
Habitat.
community, population, habitat?
Habitat.
Habitat. Let me try it. It's wrong. Let's try another one. Let's try community. Community, okay? So if I ask you what is community here, you have to say all organisms living and interacting in a place, which is community. Okay, Walif?
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Muhammad?
Yes.
All the organisms of one kind in an ecosystem. Is it niche, population, habitat? All the organisms of one kind in an ecosystem. Niche, population. Let's try population. You are right. Thank you very much. So, as Muhammad Mazen said, all the organisms of one kind in an ecosystem, its population. Again, all the organisms of one kind in an ecosystem, they are called population. Thank you. Okay, Talal. Talal. Okay, Yusuf.
Good morning, Mr.
Good
Mahmoud.
morning, Yusuf. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Okay, number 3, the environment that meets an organism's needs. Is it habitat or niche?
See anything?
Again, the environment that
Yes.
meets an organism's needs. Is it habitat or niche?
Habitat.
Habitat. Let's put it here. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
you're right. Yes.
Teacher, because I just woke up.
Say it again, please. I can't hear you, Yusuf.
It's okay, it's okay.
Okay, no problem. The last one, Saad.
Yes.
Saad. The role of an organism plays in its habitat. What is it?
Dad.
Niche.
You've got it. A habitat is an environment that meets the needs of an organism. All of the species of living things in a habitat form a community. In this community are populations or groups of organisms of the same species living in the habitat together. Each organism has a specific niche or role that it plays in its habitat.
So please, boys, this is very important video. You have to revise it after the class, especially this page, to know what is the difference between community, niche, population, habitat. You have to know the difference among all of them.
All living things have niches in a given habitat. Based on each organism's role in a habitat, that organism can be fit into one of 3 categories: producer, consumer, or decomposer. Click each image to find out which organisms in a habitat are producers, which are consumers, and which are decomposers. Birds eat living things, so they are consumers. Many birds eat insects while others eat fruit, seeds, and nuts. Unlike a producer, a consumer cannot make its own food. Consumers survive by eating plants, animals, or both. The larva of the oak leaf tear moth is a consumer that eats the leaves of the oak tree. A decomposer gets its energy from dead organisms and animal wastes. A decomposer takes these materials and breaks them down into simpler substances. Molds, mushrooms, and some bacteria are decomposers.
Ahmed? Ahmed, have you tried to eat mushroom before? Ahmed? Better?
What?
Say yes, mister. Don't say what.
Yes.
Have you tried to eat mushrooms before, Bedr?
Yes.
So it's producer or consumer or decomposers.
Producer.
Are you sure?
No, it's consumer.
No. Listen again.
Unlike a decomposer gets its energy from dead organisms and animal wastes. A decomposer takes these materials and breaks them down into simpler substances. Molds, mushrooms, and some bacteria are decomposers.
What do you think now?
Decomposers.
Decomposers. Thank you, Bedr.
The grass in a field makes its own food by using water, carbon dioxide, and energy from sunlight. Like the tree, grass does this using photosynthesis. So grass is a producer.
Abdullah?
What?
Now we are talking about plants. They are producer, consumer, or decomposer.
Okay.
What do you think about grass? They are producer, consumer, or
Yeah,
decomposer?
they are producer, but the quality is not good. I can't read. The quality is not good.
Okay, I give you some words to choose from them. Producer, Consumer or decomposer?
Producer.
Yeah, why?
Because it's makes its own food
Yeah, by themselves.
on photosynthesis.
Yeah, right. Very good. You know, we can take what from plants? What things can we take from plants?
From grass and
Yeah,
trees.
we can take like some gas, like what? What do we need to breathe here?
Um, grass,
Oxygen.
oxygen,
And we
oxygen.
can get energy from plants. We can eat it.
Okay.
Okay.
Rabbits are consumers of plants. This rabbit is eating the grass.
Abdullah, what do you think about rabbits?
Rabbits.
Yeah, rabbits. They are producer, consumer, or decomposer. And why?
It's a producer
Producer, they can make their own food by themselves.
and consumer.
Consumer, yeah, why?
Uh,
Because they eat the plants to live.
your mic is very loud.
Yeah.
It's very loud.
It's like.
Now, can you hear me properly?
Yes.
Okay, listen again.
The grass in a rabbits are consumers of plants. This rabbit is eating the grass.
Abdullah? Okay.
A producer is any living thing such as a plant that makes its own food. Producers do this by taking energy from their surroundings. The oak tree is a producer. A producer is any living thing such as a plant that makes its own food. Producers do this by taking energy from their surroundings. The oak tree is a producer. Through photosynthesis, the tree uses water, carbon dioxide, and sunlight to make sugar, which is the tree's food.
Some of that sugar ends up in acorns, which can be food for animals.
So, Tom, can you hear me? So, Tom?
Can you answer?
A decomposer's job is to break down matter from other organisms. This is how a decomposer gets its energy. What it leaves behind are simpler substances that are used by producers, like producers and these images show examples of producers, consumers, and decomposers. Sort the pictures by dragging each one to the correct category.
Okay. The first one, I'm going to choose here Abdul Mohsen. What do you think about cactus? Is it producers, consumers, or decomposers? Cactus. Producer. Okay, thank you. Right. Number two, let me choose Mu'taz. Okay.
Yes,
Manta ray fish.
It's a consumer.
Consumers. Right. Okay, we have here prairie grass. Prairie grass here, let me choose Muhammad Mazen. Muhammad Mazen. Prairie grass. Producer,
Prairie grass?
consumer, decomposer. Prairie grass. Some kind of grass.
It is a producer.
Producer. Right. Okay, this one, Muhammad Tarbush, alligator. It's like a big crocodile. Producer, consumer, or decomposer? Alligator. Choose any box to put it in. Producer, consumer, decomposer. What do you think? Box 1, 2, or 3? Muhammad, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think about this picture? Can you see it?
Yeah.
Alligator, it's producers, consumers, or decomposer? Choose anyone. Maybe maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong. So it's box 1, 2, or 3.
3.
Let me try box 3. It's not right. So let's try another one. Box 2.
Yeah.
Consumers. Yeah, you are right, Muhammad. You know why alligator is a consumer? Do you know why? Because they are eating another animals to live. Okay, Muhammad? Thank you. Yusuf Oda? Bison. Yusuf
What?
Oda? This one.
Yeah.
What do you think? Bison.
Humor.
Consumers. Right. Taha? Malt. Taha?
Yeah.
Malt.
Malt or mold?
Mold. M-O-L-D. Mold.
Yeah.
Producers, consumers, or decomposers. You can answer it from the picture. Can you see this kind of bacteria on the surface?
Consumers.
It's bacteria. Taha.
Okay.
So it's decomposers. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Ahmed Walid. Mushrooms. Ahmed Walid. Mushrooms. What's wrong in your microphone? I can't hear you. Manef. Mushrooms.
Maybe his microphone is.
Manef. Mushrooms.
Mushroom.
Yeah.
Decomposer.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye. Yes. Let me choose here. Abdullah Khalid. Abdullah Khalid. Fungus.
Yes.
This one. Fungus.
Okay.
What do you think? Producer, consumers, or decomposers? Decomposers? You're right. The last one, Muhammad Sultan. Seawood.
Yes.
Seawood. Producers, consumers, or decomposers? What do you think? Seawood. It's kind of plants. Choose anyone, Muhammad. Don't worry. I can't hear you. Producers? Okay.
Good job! The cactus, seaweed, and prairie grass are all producers. The manta ray, alligator, and bison are all consumers. The mushrooms, shell fungus, and mold are decomposers. You've learned about habitats and about the niches of the many living things in a habitat. Read the descriptions and decide which one describes the niche occupied by bees. Click the correct description.
Okay. What niche do bees occupy in habitat? They disperse seeds to make more flowers grow, or they pollinate flowers and produce honey. Number 3, they live in trees in harmony with other species or species. Number 4, they live in large groups in a hive or hive. Okay, let me choose here. Jamal, what do you think about the correct answer? What niche do bees occupy in a habitat?
Oh, like they live in large groups
Or they pollinate flowers.
They pollinate flowers and produce honey?
Well, they do.
That's right. Bees pollinate flowers when they travel from blossom to blossom. In this way, they gather food to stay alive and they help flowering plants to reproduce. Niches are the functions or roles performed by organisms in their habitats. Squirrels and birds might fill the niche of dispersing seeds to make flowers grow. The bee's niche is that they pollinate flowers and produce honey for food. You've learned about the different roles of producers,
Hello?
consumers, and decomposers in an ecosystem. Now see if you can explain why.
Mister,
Type your response in the
Yes.
I fixed it.
Okay. What was the problem?
Uh, there was something wrong in the
Okay. So,
mic settings.
okay, Ahmed. Anyways, I'd like to say, boys, now, our lesson today was what are populations, habitats, and niches, starting from page 173. Please read it again from the beginning to the end. And by this way, you can answer all of the questions of this lesson. The homework today, if sum it up,
Thank you.
So
page
until
184.
184.
184.
Oh.
The homework, sum it up, 184. You can't answer the homework without reading the lesson again. Read it properly, read it a good way, and listen to this video.
Okay.
By this way, you can understand more. If you face any problem, you can ask me, as you know. Thank you very much, and see you later in math. Goodbye.
Goodbye.